a day before Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Arab voyage. Huge diplomatic win for India. Qatar releases 8 Indian Navy veterans.
Without the intervention of Prime Minister Modi, it wouldn't be. आज हम आपके सामने खड़े नहीं हो रहे होते.
Prime Minister Modi flexes the Indian muscle. Next, the largest mandir in the Arab world. Decoding Modi's big mission West Asia. That's our top focus on India First. The release of 8 former Indian Navy personnel is being hailed as a big victory for Bharat. They'd been awarded a death sentence. Even information about charges was very limited. For their families, it was an absolute nightmare for 18 long months. Bright officers and sailors of the Indian Navy, once a part of Indian Navy, were now a part of the Al-Dahara group engaged in the task of training Qatar's armed forces, including in logistics, and they were suddenly arrested and put in solitary confinement. But after 18 long months, 7 of those 8 have been released. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be travelling to Doha, Qatar after his visit to the United Arab Emirates. Details coming up. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Let's get started with the headlines at 10. Third big exit from the Congress party in less than a month. Maharashtra heavyweight and former Chief Minister Ashok Chawar resigns. Sources said 10 to 12 Congress MLAs may also leave with Chawar. Nitish Kumar wins the Bihar Trust vote with 129 votes in favour. At least 5 RJD MLAs defect and vote for the JDU-BJP government. RJD stages a walkout. Security strengthened in the National Capital Region. Section 144 imposed ahead of farmers' march to Delhi. Tomorrow, union ministers meet farmers in Chandigarh. Tension grips Bengal after clashes in Sandesh Kali. Bengal government forms a 10-member team to probe sexual assault allegations. Union Minister Smriti Irani insists anti-Hindu hate crimes on the rise in Bengal.
Mamata Bandyopadhyay is known for the genocide of Hindus. That she will now allow her men, Hindu young married women, to be raped in the TMC office.
From being sentenced to death to being released and sent back home. All 8 former Indian Navy personnel went through 18 months of pure hell. For their families in India, it was torture. The men in solitary confinement, details of charges against them virtually unknown. And then the Ministry of External Affairs stepped in. From our diplomats to the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and finally Prime Minister Narendra Modi reached out to the Amir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. 7 of the 8 have returned home to India today. Listen in to their first reaction after touchdown.
The smiles on their faces and relaxed body language had to be seen to be believed. Not many thought this day would come. It was a sledgehammer blow on October 30th when news first filtered in that 8 former Indian Navy personnel had been arrested in Qatar on charges of espionage. That disbelief turned into despair when 8 were sentenced to death. The families of former Indian Navy personnel rushed to the Ministry of External Affairs seeking help. The MEA issued a statement saying the matter had been taken up with their counterparts in Qatar and consular access sought. Since the arrest on August 30th, it was a race against time to seek justice. The former Indian Navy personnel thanked both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim Al-Hamad Thani, for his personal intervention.
Without the intervention of Prime Minister Modi, it wouldn't be. आज हम आपके सामने खड़े नहीं हो रहे होते अगर intervention नहीं होता at that level, highest level, and especially Government of India, उनके अथक प्रयास से कि वो consistently लगे रहे and we are there in front of you.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी और उनका पर्सनल इंटरवेंशन, उनका इंटरेक्शन, और एक और मौका लेना चाहता हूं कि थैंक करूंगा अमीर को कतर के, जिनके उनके इंटरेक्शन के कारण आज हम यहां खड़े हैं, जिस दिन का हमें बहुत बेसब्री से इंतजार था.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi had raised the issue with the Amir of Qatar on the sidelines of COP28 in Dubai. Both External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval had repeatedly taken up the matter with their counterparts in Qatar.
A foreign policy that makes a difference to the lives of people, that to me is one very big change. Now, that change manifests itself in different places. You know, in the Gulf, yes, absolutely, I would say if there's one region which has undergone absolute sea change, it is actually India's relations with the Gulf.
Apart from the naval officers, Meenakshi Lekhi, MOS External Affairs and BJP leaders spoke of India's close ties with West Asia that played a key role in making the impossible possible.
बधाई के पात्र भारतीय हैं और हम प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद देना चाहते हैं कि उनकी इंटरवेंशन के बाद जो है ये संभव हो पाया, और जो अमीर हैं कतर के, उनका भी आभार कि उन्होंने ये काम किया.
सबसे पहले तो मैं कहूँगा प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का बहुत बहुत आभार. मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. आज से 45 दिन पहले इनकी फांसी की सज़ा को उम्र कैद में बदल दिया गया था, और अब भारत के नौसैनिक अधिकारियों को उनको वापस यहाँ पर लाकर एक दिखाया है कि हर एक जान की कीमत, हर भारतीय की जान की कीमत है.
Since 2015, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government has extensively engaged and invested diplomatically with West Asia and securing the release of Indian personnel just ahead of Alan Modi in Abu Dhabi, and the inauguration of the temple in Abu Dhabi adds another feather to India's diplomatic cap. With Geeta Mohan, Bureau Report, India Today.
And after completing his UAE visit on the 14th of February, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will travel to Doha, Qatar on the 14th afternoon. And during his visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold bilateral talks with Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad, the Amir of Qatar. There will also be interactions with dignitaries in Qatar. This would be a part of the Prime Minister's second visit to Qatar. He's visited this region, the West Asian region, multiple times since 2017. At least 8 visits he's had in these many years. But let's listen into the Foreign Secretary, Vinay Quatra.
Honorable Prime Minister will travel to Doha, Qatar on 14th February afternoon. During the visit, Prime Minister will hold bilateral meetings with the Amir of Qatar, His Highness Amir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, and other high dignitaries in Qatar. The bilateral relationship between India and Qatar that has been steadily growing includes a comprehensive span, including political ties, trade and investment linkages, our strong energy partnership. Prime Minister's visit to Qatar will provide an opportunity for the top leadership of the two countries to discuss ways to further deepen and strengthen our multifaceted partnership, as well as exchange views on different regional and international issues of mutual importance. In terms of substance, as we all know, India and UAE enjoy warm, close, and multifaceted relations underpinned by strong political, cultural, and economic linkages, and of course, driven by the vision and personal guidance of the leadership of the two countries. Following the landmark visit of Prime Minister to UAE in 2015, the bilateral relations between India and the UAE have undergone complete transformation. The relationship was elevated to comprehensive strategic partnership level in 2017.
So the release of the Indian Navy personnel seemed like mission impossible. But both the officers and diplomats say Prime Minister's personal intervention and supervision worked. Let's get you more on this big story as efforts continue to get the 8th officer back home and safe. Joining me on India First, Captain D.K. Sharma, former spokesperson of the Indian Navy and of course a consultant with Bharat Shakti. Also with me is Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Senior Research Fellow at the Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies. Abhijit, the case seemed opaque, the task tough. How tough was it actually for India to get the Indian Navy personnel or the former Indian Navy personnel back home?
Gaurav, it would have been superhuman. And I'll tell you why. You know, there was incredulity in all of us, including myself, that we'll ever get them out. Because remember, we have never managed to get any of our people convicted in other countries out. Especially if you remember, for the longest time, many Indians used to be on death row in the Gulf countries and we used to just let them die. At best, you know, the kind of diplomatic support they used to get is, you know, funding for a local lawyer and things like that. This went up to the highest level. So this is a watershed moment in Indian diplomatic history, because the case of Indians arrested abroad for the first time has been taken up to the Prime Minister's level. And the Prime Minister has decided to intervene very decisively here. Normally what happens is, at most, it gets upgraded to the Foreign Ministry level. And in the Foreign Ministry, we need to remember no modern country is the Foreign Ministry given the kind of interference authorities in investigation, domestic affairs, law and order, crime, etc., etc. So this required a prime ministerial intervention. I would give 100% credit for this entirely to Narendra Modi. Second, we need to remember that the charges against them are not spying for India, they're spying for Israel, which was, if you remember, Qatar never joined the Abraham Accords. So the charge was particularly grave. And just to finish very quickly, Gaurav, third, normally what would have happened was, Qatar, as per our bilateral agreements, Qatar would have maybe commuted the death sentence to life in prison, and then they would have had to come and serve it out in India, not subject to Indian parole or, you know, the 14 years equals life rule, but as per Qatari restrictions. What Narendra Modi has done is he has not just commuted it to a life sentence, he has got them a royal pardon, which could have only been done at the head of government to head of government level. So, you know, this is totally unprecedented in Indian diplomatic history.
It's unprecedented. If these personnel are today breathing in free air, perhaps they have Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Ministry of External Affairs to thank. Captain Sharma, for the families, it was pure torture. Officers who've in the past won the President's Medal, directors of training, directors of logistics, upright officers, suddenly jailed, and when information actually came to India, they had actually been sentenced to death and put in solitary confinement.
Well, Gaurav, you know it all, how it panned out. And we were very sure that things were not matching up. So whether it was professional rivalry, whether it was business rivalry, how this espionage angle came in, let's leave it at that, because that night is over. It's time for celebrations, and due credit must go to the MEA. A quite solid work by them. You see, everybody we were all jumping that why is this not happening? Why is that not happening? But now if you look back, August of 2022,
yes,
then 23, it goes into the court. Capital punishment comes, it gets revoked, remitted, goes to, sentences varying from 3 years to 25 years. And within 2 months of that, So now you can just imagine the kind of diplomatic efforts which were going on, and how were they getting importance, or how were they making headway? They were all making headway because of the strong leadership. And I don't have to, put it across. It was the Prime Minister who took personal interest. We know it. The National Security Advisor was very much, plugged into this. Mr. Jaishankar, our Foreign Minister, was very much there. The council over there, the people, the Navy, everybody was working, and it was a silent kind of which was going on. Now,
Abhijit,
if you say that why it is taken so long,
okay,
it took a little, but it gave the results.
It indeed did. Abhijit, what clinched it for India? International diplomacy is extremely tough. I mean, nobody is kind to the other person. There are hard-nosed negotiations and give and take.
There are always hard-nosed negotiations. Now, we need to remember that the Gulf works very differently from other countries. In most other countries, what happens is there are slow, systematic negotiations over years between bureaucrats. Bureaucratic things are agreed to and green-lighted by the top leadership. Here, everybody keeps making fun of Modi's, building of interpersonal relations, hugging world leaders and things. This is where they pay off. So all those people laughing at him should be ashamed of themselves, because all that hugging diplomacy, this is what it yielded. In the Gulf, it is very much based on a personal equation between two rulers, right? It is not an advisory bottom-up model. It is a fiat diktat top-down model. And so what has happened out here is every time our bureaucrats negotiating would have hit a roadblock, it would have gone right up to the Prime Minister. And this is where, you have to credit the bureaucrats, the Foreign Minister and the Prime Minister, that when the bureaucrats got stuck, they took it to the Foreign Minister. When the Foreign Minister got stuck, it would be taken up to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister would then decisively intervene and break that. Because, it is not Arab, at least not Khaliji Arab culture, to decline an honored guest. So that this has been done is 100%, like the gentleman who was released said, is entirely because of Narendra Modi.
In fact, it's very telling, the expression on their faces, their voice, and Captain Sharma and I and several of our friends, we've interacted with the families in these past 18 months. Captain Sharma, quiet diplomacy played a huge role, like you said. It's almost like trench warfare in the army, celebrating every little victory, from just getting consular access to getting families to meet them, and instead of solitary confinement, getting them to interact with each other and at least be together very, very quietly under the radar, irrespective of the criticism. And there was tremendous criticism. Kya kar rahi hai sarkar? Kya kar rahe 56 inch ka seena? Falana, dimkana. All sorts of things were said. The government took it quietly, but there was a lot of work happening behind the scenes.
Look, Gaurav, I must tell you and tell the viewers, only the families knew little bit that everything was being done, and that is why, that is my conclusion, that is the reason why the families were not coming up. They had full confidence in the government. Otherwise, the families would have come onto your channel and various other channels, because the nation was making noise, the families were suffering. Yes. They were just suffering silently, and they knew it, that they had the backing of somebody, and that backing was so strong, which has given the result today. Today is a red letter day. Not even the families knew that they have landed at the airport.
Yes.
The news was broken at around 2 o'clock, and thereafter the activity started. I also came to know at around 4:55, and I was waiting for one more confirmation that I should not make a fool of myself. Very sensitive subject it is. But then by 5:30 it broke, and everywhere, and I got a confirmation that they have landed at the airport and they are back home. And I knew 7 of them have come. The 8th one will join them soon. But the credit must be given where it is due, and it is to the government of India, the strongest leadership ever we have seen. And that is all because of one man, Prime Minister Modi. No doubt about it.
Abhijit, you had hostile powers at play. hostile powers at play internationally, and some dancing to their tunes even in India, trying to rake this issue up in such a way. And you know, since we covered what happened when IC-814 was hijacked and the tamasha that happened outside the Prime Minister's residence, that actually forced then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee to make concessions that would never have been made. Perhaps some lessons have been learnt, and India's diplomatic investment in West Asia, that's played a key role, Abhijit.
Absolutely. Now, Gaurav, look, there are always going to be malcontents and people like that who are going to constantly, irritate relations between two countries. There is one notorious case of a fact checker trying to instigate a full-blown Qatar-India diplomatic crisis. Clearly, he's fallen flat on his face right now because he isn't talking about any of this right now. So, there are people with vested interest in aggravating the situation, number one. I am so glad that, this government's majority and its absolute contempt for people like that means they will not exercise any influence, number one. Number two, I think, a large part of foreign policy, of running a good foreign service, is hand-holding your own people. When families are, disturbed about things happening abroad and things like that.
And they were very
Hats
disturbed.
off to the Navy, to the Foreign Ministry, and I don't know who these unnamed officers and bureaucrats were, but full marks to them, because they had the most difficult job. They were the ones dealing with the families every day, having to deal with that disappointment for the last 18 months.
Yes.
Ki hausla badhao, hausla badhao, hausla badhao. Even if they did not see light at the end of the tunnel, because nobody could have known this would happen. And for them to constantly, keep those families, keep their hope alive is huge. Those are truly unsung heroes. I don't think we'll ever know their name, but thank you so much to all of them, because, they've really done yeoman service.
No, this is the power of Indian diplomacy. Our diplomats, the legal teams, the political leadership, whether it's the External Affairs Minister, the National Security Advisor, or as the Indian Navy, former Indian Navy personnel themselves said, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but for his intervention, this would not have happened. Captain Sharma, this case was completely opaque. But our diplomats and legal teams, they were able to first convince that the death sentence be overturned to a prison term, and then move forward step by step to secure their release.
Gaurav, that is what the conviction was. That first of all, we knew who were these people. Everybody knew these 8 officers, or the 8 retired naval officers, were the cream de la cream.
Yes.
They were instructors, and had there been any doubt about their integrity or their, the total career, the backing of the government would not have been the way it has been. So at each and every step, and there is nothing hidden from the government. So let's be very clear about it. So what were the reasons why they were taken in, why detention converted into arrest, and why the arrest converted into a capital punishment? All that has fallen flat. Our teams must have worked very, very closely with the case, and how it, let's not talk about it, because there are too many gray areas into it.
And this still remains work in progress, Abhijit. One officer, though released from prison, is yet to return home. And perhaps the Prime Minister's visit to Qatar becomes very important in several ways. Investing in that region has really worked.
Look, it has been a multifaceted investment in that region. Before, what used to happen was it was basically just a source of, income for us, for jobs, remittances back home and things like that. Today, we are not looking at it as a cash cow. We're actually looking at it as a rishtedari, as a relationship. This is not Malik or Naukar ka rishtedar. This is now rishtedari ban rahi hai. There is a matchmaking kind of thing happening right now. And that is where this is really important, because when Modi is going out there, many people have tried to link this $78 billion gas deal with this. This is an extension of a deal that already happened.
Existing,
It is saving us $6 billion over the course of the year. So not only did he get a $6 billion discount on the deal while reinforcing our energy security, he also managed to get a release. Now, is assume that the visit there is a payment. I don't believe it is a payment of any sort. What does it tell you about the stature of India that the visit of an Indian Prime Minister alone is good enough to secure it? We have only seen this with US presidents, retired US presidents visiting North Korea to get, Americans held in North Korean jails out. That an Indian Prime Minister today can yield that kind of power, I don't know why they're scorning it, because it actually makes Modi look very, very good. It makes India look very, very powerful. So,
and look at the investment in that region. In fact, Dr. Jaishankar had spoken of 10 years of Narendra Modi's government's one of the major achievements was a diplomatic investment across West Asia. But Captain Sharma, before we let you go, there's a lesson for even our ex-servicemen here. They need to be very careful who they work for and who they work with overseas.
Well, Gaurav, let's not make this case as a pilot case. Yes, people will be wary, but our geostrategic importance and the relationships with this part of the world, now they will start yielding results. You see what is happening there. And we are looking at IMEC, we are looking at, putting the submarine pipelines, the gas has to come. Tomorrow, should there be a problem with the locks, should there be a problem with the, choke points, there have to be answers worked on it. We have invested heavily in Oman, Duqm port.
Yes.
We will be doing something, with the Middle East is now becoming very important for India's economic well-being. And one side of Arabian Sea is India and the other side is Middle East. Yes. So there has to be, this is what we are forgetting, that there is some geostrategic importance. There are some geopolitical compulsions.
Good point made there.
All that is being, reset. And that is where the Prime Minister, the NSA, the Foreign Minister, and the frequency of visits, which you both were discussing, this is all, if you join the dots, all this is now making sense.
And the Prime Minister's interaction, even in UAE, 7 interactions that have happened just in recent months. The fact that he's been there so many times. Abhijit, the Prime Minister has been able to send across a very powerful message. Every Indian will be brought home, whatever it takes.
Absolutely. Not just that. You look at, he keeps winning the highest award of all these countries. You see one after the other. I won't be surprised if he goes to Qatar and now wins their highest award as bestowed on him by Sheikh Thani. I won't put it past the imagination right now. Because remember, we do still have a continuing irritant in our relationship called Al Jazeera. And, diplomacy is papering over, not just papering over differences, but overcoming differences. And, that is where Modi is very, very, very good. He uses whatever tools are available to him to sort these things out. We need to remember, foreign policy in this country since its conception has always depended on a very strong Prime Minister who needs to have an internationalist outlook. And I think this Prime Minister is particularly exceptional at that kind of personal diplomacy.
I will let that be the last word of this part of the show. Captain DK Sharma and Abhijit for joining me here on this India First special. Many thanks.
Thank you.
A quick break. On the other side, suspense over what's happening across the border in Pakistan. Who will form the next government? Imran Khan, his party may have won the elections through independence, but he's lost the long game. It's the army that seems to have won. Details coming up.
Get ready for an immersive journey into the heart of news, politics, and insights that matter. Join India Today now on WhatsApp. Scan the QR code.
जो इस माननीय सदस्यगण, इस पर पुनः विभाजन द्वारा मत की मांग की जा रही है। अब हाँ पक्ष वाले खड़े हो जाएं और सचिव अपना गणना कराएं। खड़ा हो जाइए, जितने भी सत्ता पक्ष के लोग हैं खड़ा हो जाइए, ना हाँ पक्ष के। अब ना पक्ष वाले खड़े हो जाएं, सचिव आप गणना कराएं। ना पक्ष वाले बात तो ठीक कह दीजिए। 22 ऊपर हो गया। माननीय सदस्यगण, वर्तमान माननीय अध्यक्ष बिहार विधानसभा को उनकी पद से हटाने हेतु प्रस्तुत संकल्प के प्रस्ताव पर विभक्त होकर मतदान का जो फल आया है वह निम्न प्रकार है। प्रस्ताव के पक्ष में 125 और प्रस्ताव के विपक्ष में 112। अतएव समस्त सदस्यों के बहुमत से यह संकल्प पारित हुआ। अतएव यह प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। वर्तमान अध्यक्ष को पद से हटाए जाने पर सभा की सहमति।
सम्राट चौधरी जी डिप्टी सीएम बने। बड़ी खुशी है कि ये डिप्टी सीएम बने। इनका बयान हमने देखा कि भाजपा जो है इनकी मां, भाजपा पार्टी जो है मां, लेकिन हम तो कहना चाहते हैं आरजेडी में आपकी मां हुई ओरिजिनल। तो आप तो पहले हमारे दल में ही थे। आपके दल में नहीं। अच्छा चलिए ठीक है, चलिए कोई बात नहीं, आप अस्वीकार कीजिए, लेकिन जनता तो इस बात को जानती है। हमें खुशी है कि साथ में दो डिप्टी सीएम बने और विजय सिन्हा जी भी डिप्टी सीएम बने। स्पीकर पद पे भी रह लिए, नेता विरोधी दल भी रह लिए और डिप्टी सीएम भी रह लिए। इन्होंने भी इतिहास रच दिया। एक टर्म में 3-3 पद इन्होंने भी पा लिया। तो ये आप सोचे थे कि नहीं विजय बाबू? अरे आपके दिमाग में आया था कि आप एक टर्म में स्पीकर भी, डिप्टी सीएम भी और नेता विरोधी दल भी आप बन गए। तो इसके लिए आप तीनों लोगों को विशेष तौर पे हम बधाई देना चाहते हैं।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Turmoil in Pakistan has intensified. Imran Khan's party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf, they say Gulami na manzoor. The party chief, Barrister Gaurav Khan, he claims that Imran Khan backed independents have backed over. They've won over 160 seats. Barrister Gaurav, he's gone on record to say that they have officially won 94 seats and they have what is known in Pakistan as Form 45, which is given to a candidate to say that he's leading or has won. That Form 45, he claims they have for another 75 seats at least in the federal elections, which means according to the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf party, candidates backed by them have formed majority to form the next government in Pakistan. And they've gone on record to say they will not permit a theft of the mandate. Gulami na manzoor is what they're saying. Barrister Gaurav has also gone on record to say that Imran Khan's party, which is Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf, though their symbol has been taken away, the party wasn't allowed to contest these elections, but individuals backed by that party have won 2/3 majority in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provincial elections and claim they have majority in Pakistan's Punjab province. The protests will start tomorrow. It will be a peaceful protest telling the Pakistan army and the government to respect the mandate. Gulami na manzoor is the point that they're repeatedly making. Let's listen in to Barrister Gaurav of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf. He's the chairman of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf while Imran Khan is in jail. But how is this theft according to PTI happening? This theft is happening because the other two political parties, which is Nawaz Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League and PPP, Pakistan People's Party of Asif Ali Zardari and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, they are coming together and in principle they've agreed to form the next government to save Pakistan. Before I get you more on that story, let's listen in to the chairman of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf, Barrister Gaurav.
पंजाब में हम इंशाल्लाह ताला हुकूमत बनाएंगे। प्राइम मिनिस्टर इलेक्ट आपको अपने आप को समझते हुए ऐलान किया गया, जिसके पास 50 सीटों की भी मेजॉरिटी नहीं है, कि हम हुकूमत बनाएंगे। हम समझते हैं ये डेमोक्रेसी के लिए कोई अच्छी खबर नहीं है जिस तरीके से उसने दी है। ऐसी स्टेटमेंट प्रीमेच्योर की हम मजम्मत करते हैं। पाकिस्तान तहरीक इंसाफ के पास 170 सीटों की बरतरी हासिल हो चुकी है।
And let me now get you 4 different voices from Pakistan joining us on this special broadcast. Arzu Kazmi is a senior journalist and social media YouTuber who joins us from Pakistan. Arzu Kazmi, Zishan, Arif, Tanzila Mazhar and Shahid, Kuwar Shahid also join us, and joining us all from different parts of Pakistan. But let's get the latest picture. Arzu Kazmi, turmoil or is there any clarity? कौन बनाएगा पाकिस्तान में अगली सरकार? What more do we know, Arzu?
Things are still not clear, Gaurav, because everybody is claiming that they are going to make the new government, but still things are not clear, as I said. And we are just waiting for we are waiting for the politicians to decide and tell us that who's going to make the PDM 2 or PDM 3 or PDM 1. What's going on in Pakistan? It's really funny and embarrassing situation right now. As Jahangir Tareen, the main person who was with Imran Khan, when Imran Khan came as a prime minister and he supported Imran Khan, now he left Imran Khan when he was a prime minister and he made his own political party. Now announced that he quit politics and also he resigned from the chairmanship of his own political party. Okay. So things are very complicated here.
Very complicated. Does this mean that Imran Khan, Tanzila Mazhar, Imran Khan won the elections as people backed by him. He, of course, is in jail. He's convicted. His party cannot officially contest elections or could not. But Imran Khan has the mandate, but he has lost. And pml-n and PPP are coming to form the government. It is said in principle they've also agreed. Is this stealing a mandate as PTI claims, Tanzila?
If you take the perspective and context of the situation in Pakistan, so I believe yes, people have voted for Imran Khan. But when you talk about technically who can form a government, there are laws who fit in that legal framework. So PTI as a party was not contesting elections, so they have to join another party. And if they join another party, so factually Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf will not be in the parliament. I think whole legal battle was designed and was fought in a way which has resulted in shattering of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf as a party, because now everybody is an independent candidate. 3 to 4 candidates have already joined Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, and from provincial assembly also independent candidates are joining other parties. And we have news that around 20 candidates from National Assembly would be joining either Pakistan People's Party or Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. And this number, which is looking very huge at the moment, maybe in 2-3 days, this number will go down for Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf, and they will not look in a majority. Though they are thinking that all the election, all the seats where they are contesting, that their mandate has been stolen, or they are saying that they won these seats. This legal battle will take a lot of time. Government has to get formed in couple of next days. So Barrister Gaurav spoke to me yesterday, and he said that we won 170 plus seats. They cannot prove this, and proving this rigging and everything will take a lot of time. On the other hand, legal framework allows Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and People's Party and other allies to form the government, and I think they are in final round of negotiations. They are adding MQM because MQM did not, Pakistan People's Party had a very clear majority to form government in Sindh province.
Yes.
But MQM has a lot of stakes in Karachi, so they would like to join that government. And having a majority, why Pakistan People's Party would have MQM in Sindh? So things are really interesting, but this is, I'll
come to the provinces in just a moment, but let me get a bigger picture. If Imran Khan's party or candidates backed by him have won elections and yet are not getting their Form 47 to prove it, they are saying we will protest. But Kumar Shahid, if they protest, will it be peaceful, or is there a fear there could be a repeat of May 9 when Pakistan Air Force Base Mianwali and Corps Commander Lahore's houses and several other sensitive locations in Pakistan were targeted? Is there that apprehension that the protest will not be peaceful?
Given the iron-fisted response of the state, especially the way the PTI leadership, PTI workers, PTI fans have been targeted, it is unlikely to witness similar violence. At least the political workers are very adamant. Even throughout the polling I witnessed personally, they were very clear to not be rowdy, to make sure that everything remains calm and peaceful. But of course, there could be elements from the outside or even within certain sections that can trigger something. When the entire country is protesting, which they're protesting in Balochistan, they're protesting KP, they're protesting everywhere in Pakistan. So, and the security situation as it is, even before in the lead up to the elections, was very turbulent. So an incident could be triggered. This is, unfortunately, I take no pleasure saying this. This is absolute fertile ground for one of these jihadists or militant groups to target one of these places, and that could wreak havoc. But hopefully none of that sort would happen, and it is very unlikely that something of this sort would be initiated by any of the political parties or leaders.
Okay. Zishan Arif, as of now, we are being told that this turmoil, this political uncertainty, when it comes to pml-n and PPP, pml-n wants Nawaz Sharif to be Prime Minister, but PPP wants Bilawal Bhutto Zardari as Prime Minister. So is that one of the main tussle points. And for the Chief Minister of Pakistan's Punjab province, PPP wants the backing to ensure that Maryam Nawaz Sharif's daughter, becomes the Chief Minister of Punjab. Is that what is happening behind the scenes?
Well, the news is coming. Both the contenders, Shehbaz Sharif and Bilawal, are for the Prime Minister, but only one of them could do the job at a given time. So there was jokes going around as well. Shehbaz Sharif will be the Prime Minister for night and Bilawal for the day. But one of them could do the job, you know. So we are hearing about from the sources as well that they could, reach to negotiations regarding the Prime Minister position for 3 years. Shehbaz Sharif would be leading the coalition government, and the next 2 years it will be Bilawal who will be the Prime Minister. But we have yet to see the official announcement from them whether they reach to any certain point regarding that. But at the moment, let me share with you that yesterday an important meeting happened with Imran Khan in the Diyala jail. So the state is actually trying to move forward from here. Yes, it is turmoil, but things need to move in the right direction. If Imran Khan insists on making his government, he doesn't have the numbers right now. So if the courts, courts in Pakistan, they take too long. In the last election, Qasim Suri, the deputy speaker, he won, and his opponent, he went to the court. So he got a stay, and that stay went on for 5 years. So that's how the things work in Pakistan. So if Imran Khan wants to form the government, he doesn't have the number, but the state wants Nawaz Sharif and Zardari to come forward, let the things go in the right direction, form a government. They are talking about giving relaxation to Imran Khan, letting him make the government in KPK, and they just want everybody on board. But Imran Khan is reluctant at the moment, and yesterday he even said that you should just stop interfering with the national politics and let the people have decided, and you have to respect their mandate. So these are
when Chairman Gauhar of Imran Khan's party says Gulami na manzoor arzu, kiski gulami na manzoor? Is it army ki gulami na manzoor? But ultimately, the way we would look at it, Pakistan army will end up calling the shots. If nobody has a mandate, then the army will fix a mandate.
आई थिंक दैट ये आर्मी के लिए ही कह रहे हैं, एस्टैब्लिशमेंट के लिए ही बात कर रहे हैं जो गौहर साहब हैं, बिकॉज यू नो कि वही कुछ हो रहा है गौरव जो पहले होता रहा है. द ओनली थिंग इज दैट के स्टाइल जो है वो चेंज किया हुआ है. अदरवाइज यू सी दैट इमरान खान्स मेंबर्स और इमरान खान्स पार्टी गॉट मोस्टली सीट्स उन्होंने जीती है. स्टिल दे आर नॉट अलाउड टू मेक द गवर्नमेंट. सो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन हियर. सब कुछ वही चल रहा है जो पहले होता था, सिर्फ स्टाइल चेंज है, नथिंग एल्स.
मतलब पिछली बार आर्मी ने मैंडेट फिक्स किया था इमरान खान के लिए इन 2018 तंजीला, एंड दिस टाइम सिंस इट्स बीइंग फिक्स्ड फॉर अदर देन इमरान खान, एंड सिंस ऑल माय गेस्ट्स फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान हैव अ प्लेजेंट स्माइल ऑन देयर फेस, सो दिस इज व्हाट अपीयर्स टू बी हैपनिंग. लास्ट टाइम इट वाज फिक्स्ड फॉर इमरान खान, सो ही वाज हैप्पी. दिस टाइम इफ इट्स बीइंग फिक्स्ड फॉर, it was fixed for Nawaz Sharif, but Tanzila Mazhar, clearly Nawaz Sharif with this fractured mandate is not coming forward to be Prime Minister of Pakistan. It will be Shehbaz Sharif or Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. Is that the correct understanding?
I think the working relationship which Shehbaz Sharif had with the military establishment, and a very important initiatives were taken in the PDM government, which directly deals with economic turmoil of Pakistan. So he is favorite. There's a term used in Pakistan, maqbooliyat and qabuliyat. So one is maqbool and one is qabul. So I think the later one is rightly suitable for Pakistan and for the establishment and for everyone. But issue which is really concerning for everyone in Pakistan, whether Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf would be on roads, because that has been their favorite thing. They cannot sit in the parliament, and they do not believe in the system. Imran Khan has this problem that he thinks whatever he says, that is the system and that is the law. Yes. He talks about of law, but others. And when he had a best team and he wanted to, perform in 100 days and, want to end corruption and everything, eliminate corruption from Pakistan, he could not do. This time, he does not have a team. PTI is, largely these are new people. They don't know how economy works. They don't know how governance, take place. So they have become a bigger risk if they are given the government and if they can form. The other problem with PTI is that they do not want to sit with any political party. They want everybody should go to hell, and the country is given to them, and they want absolute power, absolute independence, which does not work in countries like Pakistan and in region like South Asia.
Okay.
So even Barrister Gore said that this time they don't have number. Even with these numbers, and if they win all the legal court cases, they will need to sit with one of these parties, either Pakistan People's Party,
But
either
if
Pakistan
if I look at the numbers that they're claiming, Tanzila, he claimed that they have Form 45, no, they have Form 47 in 94 cases and Form 45 in 76 cases. So he on his own is claiming that they have Form 45, which means they've won the elections, but Form 47, if I understand correctly, is that certification was given to somebody else. He claims they have the numbers, but Kunwar Shahid, if they are not allowed to form the government, what are options for Chairman Gohar-led elements of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf with Imran Khan in jail?
If you notice the noise that's coming from the PTI camp, hours into the election, they first claim we already have 2/3 majority. Then they claim that we have majority, and then now they're claiming the 170 seats they claimed included the reserved seats as well. So slowly they're backpedaling. There's no question that their mandate has been stolen, but the degree of the theft is gradually coming down. What options do they have right now? The obvious option that they had was to pick a party that is already registered and put in all of their independent candidates with that party, which would allow them to get the reserved seats in the parliament. Now, the issue with that is independent candidates have been fair game. They're being openly approached by all the parties, especially the PML-n and the People's Party, and there's no constitutional protection because, again, they were independent, so they can go to any party. This has meant that already six six members who contested the elections under the PTI banner have already joined PML-n. That includes Wasim Qadir, was a senior PTI leader. Yes. So now what the PTI is join a party like Jamaat-e-Islami or Majlis Wahdat al-Muslimin. That's a party that has one seat from KP. What they can do is join them and then get the reserved seats. Now the issue with
and Zishan, the information is Pakistan, ma'am, this is Pakistani media and I'm only quoting Pakistani media. वो कह रहे हैं मंडी लगी है और independents बिकने के लिए तैयार है. Is that what is happening? जो सबसे ज़्यादा बोली लगाएगा. Independents are waiting to be auctioned, whether taken by PPP or PML-n.
Gaurav, I wanted to add one point to this particular thing, that they are saying that Wasim Qadir got 7 crores from Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. People, when they are in PTI, they are honest, they're not corrupt, they're not taking money, they're not sellable, and when they make any political decision, they are sold, they are bought, and there's a mandi. So Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf is best at this, and they will be doing this. I think system will try to bring them in the parliament as an opposition. That is one option Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaaf should choose, or otherwise they should form a coalition government and talk to some political actor. Not
and that clearly Imran Khan is not very good at unless the army is managing it for him, and this time the army clearly is not. Army, loss of face perhaps, but remain very tightly in control of the country. To all my guests for joining me from Pakistan, many thanks. I've run out of time on this part of the show, but this is a story we'll be tracking very, very closely. This uncertainty and turmoil in Pakistan.
कुल उपस्थित सदस्यों की संख्या के मतदान से यह प्रस्ताव स्वीकृत हुआ। यह सभा वर्तमान राज्य मंत्रिपरिषद में विश्वास व्यक्त करती है।
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar wins the trust vote in the State Assembly by managing 129 votes, 4 more than the combined strength of BJP, JDU, Hindustani Awam Morcha and Independent. The suspense that built up on Sunday after 2 MLAs went missing gave way to relief for Nitish, as they rejoined the ruling coalition on Monday. With 3 RJD MLAs crossing over, the face-off in the assembly ended in a comfortable win for Nitish as the opposition walked out. Earlier in the assembly, former Bihar Deputy CM and RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav launched a blistering attack on the Narendra Modi government and his former ally Nitish Kumar, prompting an equally fierce counter-attack by the NDA. The writing on the wall was clear early in the day. A no-confidence motion was passed in the assembly against Speaker Awadh Bihari Chaudhary from the RJD. Clearly, the numbers were in Nitish's favour. RJD MLAs Neelam Devi, Chetan Anand and Prahlad Yadav were seen with the treasury benches right from the beginning. Chetan Anand incidentally was seen playing cricket at Tejasvi Yadav's residence on Sunday, only to change his jersey the next day. With Rohit Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
तो आप झंडा लेकर के चले थे कि मोदी जी को देश में रोकना है, आपका भतीजा झंडा उठा करके मोदी जी को बिहार में रोकेगा। ये कोई पहली बार नहीं है, ये कोई पहली बार नहीं है मुख्यमंत्री जी, जो आप लोगों के साथ हम लड़ रहे हैं अकेले। हमारे साथ कांग्रेस है, माले है, महागठबंधन हम लोगों ने बनाया था 2020 में, और 20 में तो क्या रिजल्ट हुआ था उसी का ना पीड़ा आज मुख्यमंत्री जी का कि तीसरे नंबर का पार्टी हो गए।
पश्चिम बंगाल में संदेश खाली में कुछ महिलाओं ने मीडिया को संबोधित करते हुए बांग्ला में अपनी व्यथा को व्यक्त किया। टीएमसी के